Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Peach Sea Honey Glow cushion. This cushion was sent to me for review by a store called Joohky, which I feel like I'm still pronouncing incorrectly, but I am trying my best. They were kind enough to let me pick out a few products to review, and then they also sent me 2 products to review too that they chose. Their products are skincare and my products were 2 makeup items. So this is the first one. The second one is actually a Stylelander cushion, a Stylelander eyeshadow palette, and so I'm hoping to have that review coming up soon. I'm just having trouble finding the time to do the swatches for it. As usual, I used to have like a whole half of a day off work where I could do all of the swatches, and I no longer have that half of a day, and it's proving to be a lot more difficult than I thought it would be to squish everything in. I'm also not looking forward to winter where I won't have any natural sunlight during the day, like the times where I have free at night. It's going to be hard. So I wanted to try out the Peach Sea cushion because I have tried the Peach Sea primer and I really liked it. I've tried a Peach Sea eyeshadow palette and I really liked that one also. This one looked really fun. It's the Honey Glow cover cushion. I am wearing it at the moment. The colour is not quite right. I do have the shade number 1, which is Ivory, but it is really pretty and glowy and lovely. So for this one, the product description says, fortified with SPF 50+, PA+++, this cushion foundation provides skin with flawless coverage and honey-like glow. The foundation remains fresh for hours without getting greasy or cakey. So the product packaging of this is really pretty. It does come in a really, really beautiful peach coloured container, and it has Peach Sea on the front in gold foil. I'm not sure why they've got like an accent over the top of the P. I'm not sure if I should be pronouncing that slightly differently. I have never seen a P with a... It's not a macron, it's not a circumflex, it's the one that I forget the name of. Inside it just looks like a regular cushion. I do really like that the cushion puff has a gradiated colour, goes from peach to white. I just think that's a really nice touch. Otherwise it's mostly like any other cushion. I have the shade number 1 Ivory, and it's not quite as yellow as I would like it to be. It is a little bit more of a pinky peach colour, but being that this is a peach cushion, I'm kind of not surprised, but it also doesn't suit me that well. I've got the very cute peach coloured puff, which I love. Mine is dirty at the moment because I haven't cleaned it in between uses just yet. It's on my to-do list for today though, so don't worry about it. I feel like this smells a little bit like peach, but also a lot like sunscreen, which is kind of nice because I can use all of the sun protection I can get at this point in my life, because for some reason this summer I have been burnt twice. Once kind of really badly. My like leg, I don't know what happened to it. It's like it got a sun rash or something. Like it was a burn and then it was super itchy and I 100% scratched it. So it could just be irritation, but it looks like a proper rash all down the front of my leg. Irresponsible. And I did put sunscreen on it, but I forgot to roll around like a rotisserie chicken while in the sun. I was at the beach and ended up just baking the front half of myself because I went to sleep. And yeah, not so good. So this cushion applies really easily. Obviously you can just dip straight into the cushion itself and pat it on. I don't find that there are any issues with application whatsoever. It's super quick and it's super easy. It's very not fussy. So that is what the colour looks like there. It is slightly off. It's a little bit more pink than I would like, and I'm a little bit more tan than I normally would be. So it's kind of like a light to neutral. It just looks quite bright in comparison to my neck and the rest of my body because I am more tan than I normally would be, and it is more bright and pink. However, I do really like the finish. It's a little bit glowy, but without looking like it's going to melt off my face, which is really nice because it is the middle of summer right now. I say middle of summer. It's February in New Zealand. It's hot. It's like 30 degrees right now outside. There's no aircon in this room, so I am glad for the semi-matte but still dewy sort of finish because it looks nice and it makes my skin look beautiful and young and all of the good things that you want. But it doesn't look like it's going to drip off my face, so that's quite good. I'm powering through this because obviously it is very hot here, and I am going to be doing some eyeshadow swatches afterwards, so I want to make sure that I have got the best possible application to start with. Did you know that generally the application of the foundation that you see in these videos is not the same day as it would be were I to be filming the updates? So if you've noticed that I changed shirt, It's because it's actually a different day. So the updates, I'll take it from whenever I put the foundation on in the morning, and then I'll update throughout the day of that day, but it's not going to be the same day as when I do this part of the video. The reason being is that a lot of the time now I just don't have the time in the morning to film, and also have the time in the afternoon to do the updates. So my schedule is that some days I have like, I'll start at 9 or I'll start at 10, and those days I can film in the morning before I get ready. But the way that it works is that if I don't have the work in the morning, I'll have the work in the afternoon, which means that I can't stop to film to do the updates. So sometimes, like when I'm putting my makeup on at 8 AM, can't really film at that time anyway because the lighting is not good. Also, what do you think about the lighting in this room? This is a different room. All of those complicated things. So I used to be able to do it all in one day, and now no longer can do that. So this is what the cushion looks like on to start with. And like I said before, I'm not a fan of the colour. It doesn't suit me personally, but it is fine. It's just more of a neutral colour. I really like the finish. I think that is really easy to apply, and the finish looks really beautiful. It's like a satin matte, I would say. So a little bit glowy, but not too drippy or too wet. It does have light to medium coverage, so I can still see quite a few scars, and there is a fair amount of texture on my skin as well. So this is what we're looking like up close. We can definitely see there's some texture here where I've had some pimples, some scarring, some freckles, and you can see a lot of pores. Same with my forehead. My forehead is really textured at the moment. It's just not having a good time, but it does do a nice job on the little wrinkles that I've got here. They really don't look that apparent, which is really beautiful. Same with around the eyes. It looks quite smooth. There are definitely wrinkles there. Ignore the ones underneath the eyes, those are ridiculous. And then you can still see a fair amount of scarring through here and a bit of redness. If you haven't seen this before, this is a birthmark. It will not be covered up by any kind of foundation, so I usually don't even try. So I will check back in with you guys a little bit later to show you how the foundation is holding up. So the cushion has been on for almost 5 hours now. I am sitting in the car again, mostly because the school is locked. I can't get in yet. So I'm in the car cooking myself. So there is a little bit of smudging around the eyes from the mascara, and there is some glasses marks. There is a little bit of oiliness around the nose, so especially like in the little divot there, but overall we don't look too bad. But it is only 5 hours in, so I've got a whole bunch of teaching to do, and then I'll try and do an update maybe from inside when there's light. It'll be almost sundown by the time I'm finished, so I can't guarantee how good the next update is going to be. So the cushion has been on for 13 hours now. It is just before 11 PM at night, and I am so tired, and I'm back in my house, and I wasn't able to do a checkup at the other school because the lighting, there was no light. So for 13 hours, it's doing a lot better than I'm doing. I'm so tired. I've already taken the top half of my dress off accidentally, so whoops. But otherwise it is looking okay, especially for 13 hours. I think that it's holding up pretty well. There is a bit of shine around my nose, which I noticed around maybe like the 8-hour mark was starting to get quite shiny, but it didn't really get that much more, and it's not really like dripping off my face. If I touch my T-zone, I can pick up quite a bit of shine on my fingers, but the cushion itself isn't actually coming off on my fingertips, which is a good sign. There is a bit of wear to my chin. I have been teaching flute this afternoon, which means that I have been playing flute, which rests on the chin. So there isn't really much I can do about that, unfortunately, and most foundations will rub off. Foundations that don't rub off would be foundations like MAC Studio Fix Fluid. That stuff sticks. But for the majority, you know, most foundations do rub off anyway, so that's nothing new. Overall, I think the longevity is actually pretty good. So overall, I actually really enjoyed this cushion, but I don't like the colour. The colour is a little bit off. It's not so off that you look at me on camera and you think, wow, that's a bad foundation shade. But in real life, it is just that little bit bright, just a little bit pink, and it doesn't quite get there for me, which is unfortunate because I actually really like the rest of the product. I think that it applies nice and evenly. I think that it applies really easily. I haven't had any problems with it being cakey while applying, or being tricky, hard to blend, or you know, sitting on dry spots really awfully, or making my skin look worse. It doesn't particularly make my pores look that much better, I have to say. Like, it's not really covering them up, but it's not making them look worse either. The longevity is okay. I think I did a really long wear test for this one, if I remember correctly. It was last week on a Friday, and it did wear fine. I do find that it does get a little bit oily, so I've had this on today. I went to work at 9, so I put this on at 8 AM, It is now 2:45. It's looking okay. I feel like because it's very hot today, I do need to blot just a little bit, but it's still looking dewy rather than greasy. So overall, there's a few things that I do like about this and a few that I don't like pretty much every single product. The main reason I don't like it is because the color is not correct. It's just not the right shade for me. There's nothing I can do really about that. The things that I do like though, if the color is good for you, I would recommend it because I do think that it is a really, really lovely product. It's really pretty. I love the packaging. It's functional. It's like any other cushion product. If you like cushions, you will like this one because it's the same as everything else. I feel like it applies well. It looks really beautiful on the skin. If you're looking for a dewy finish, then this is a good product. It doesn't feel sticky. Even when I've got my dewy look today at the moment, it still doesn't feel very sticky on the skin. My fringe isn't sticking to it more than it normally would. My forehead is a bit sweaty and it's sticking a little bit to that, and my fringe hates me today. But other than that, I really like the application and the look of the product on my skin. The longevity is also fine. So if you've got the right skin color for this one, I would highly recommend it. I believe it only comes in 2 shades. 3, ivory, beige, and sand. And the 3 shades do not look very far apart. The sand looks, I mean, the picture of the sand swatch looks quite light. Yeah, no, that's like a medium tan, isn't it? But either way, I do really recommend the product and I do like it. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and thank you to Joohky for sending this product out for me to talk about. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!